Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to Your Football Predictions, the series where we try and predict all of the Premier League games for the upcoming weekend. But before we get onto that, let's take a quick look at my predictions from the last video. So week 1, I got no correct scores. Week 2, I got no correct scores. Week 3, I got 2 correct scores. So I've picked myself up, I got that Everton would beat Crystal Palace 2-1 and that Leeds would beat Sheffield United 1-0. Quite a few of you guys got 2 correct scores as well, and I did think we might have a big group of joint winners until I found Geordie Boy Gaming's predictions, who got 4 correct scores. It's been a while since I've seen someone get that many correct in a week, so well done to you, mate. Someone else who comments on all of the videos, so thank you for the support. And remember, if you want to be shouted out in my next predictions video, which won't be for a while now because we've got the international break, but be sure to get your predictions down in the comments below for this weekend's Premier League games. And as always, we will go through the games now. Believe it or not, I'm actually being organised with my videos for a change. It's actually Monday night. I've just finished watching Liverpool beat Arsenal, and you guys aren't going to see this video until Thursday afternoon. So one thing that is happening this week is we've got a whole host of League Cup games. I've not seen them yet, but you guys will have. So be sure to bear them in mind when you're putting your predictions in. But we'll start off with the first game at the weekend, which is 12:30 on BT Sport, and it is Chelsea taking on Crystal Palace. So Chelsea have had a bit of an up and down start to their season. A great start beating Brighton in the first game. A loss against Liverpool, 10 men with half the game. You can kind of expect that. But drawing 3-3 against West Brom at the weekend, I mean, was it a good point in the end? They were actually losing 3-0 at one point, so I suppose it's a good point that they managed to pull it all the way back. But before the start of that game, I really thought Chelsea were going to, pick up 3 points and score a fair few goals and not concede as many as 3. Chelsea also play tomorrow night against Spurs in the League Cup, so look out for that one. As for Crystal Palace, they beat Southampton in their first game. They went and beat Man U in their second game, so cracking start for Crystal Palace. Then lost against Everton at the weekend, but Everton are the team in form at the minute, so you can't argue that one. As for a prediction, it's a bit 50-50. I have backed Chelsea to win 2-1. I think we've seen Chelsea can score the goals. Can they keep them out this game? That's the question. Crystal Palace obviously started really well, but I think Chelsea will just have the edge. Next up again on the Saturday, but at 3 o'clock on BT Sport, we have got Everton taking on Brighton. So as I say, Everton are the team in form at the minute. 3 wins in 3, beat Spurs, beat West Brom, beat Crystal Palace. They play in the League Cup on Wednesday against West Ham. You will have already seen it, so as I say, look out for that. As for Brighton, they didn't start too great, losing against Chelsea, but then got a really good win against Newcastle, which I am unfortunately far too aware of. And then lost against Man U at the weekend, and Brighton also play Wednesday night in the League Cup against Man U again. So as I say, you guys have already seen it. Did Brighton get their own back, or have they lost to Man U again? So bear those 2 midweek games in mind for this one. As I say, Everton are the team in form, definitely here, and it's tough not to back them. Calvert-Lewin is scoring goals. I'd imagine he'd probably get at least 1 in this one. So I've gone 3-1 to Everton. As I say, no one's keeping clean sheets at the minute, so I think it's very likely that Brighton will score. Mapai could well get a goal, but I just think Everton will outscore them. Next up again on the Saturday, but at 5:30 on Sky, we have got Leeds taking on Man City. So Leeds started off their season with a loss against Liverpool, but did say at the time they did lose 4-3. So as much as they lost, they still scored 3 goals, which I think they would have taken as a positive. And it certainly looks that way because they've then gone on to beat Fulham and Sheffield United in their next 2 games. As for Man City, they beat Wolves in their first game and looked convincingly good. and then looked convincingly useless against Leicester at the weekend, losing 5-2. Man, I mean, they weren't useless, but Leicester played extremely well, were very good defensively, and obviously Jamie Vardy picking up a hat-trick. Man City also play on Wednesday night in the League Cup against Burnley, so look out for that one. In terms of a prediction on this one, two teams who are clearly scoring goals. I mean, Leeds are banging them in at the minute. Man City obviously have the team to score goals, so I'm hoping for a bit of a end-to-end thriller, a bit like the Leeds-Liverpool game in the first game of the season. I have edged it to Man City. Am I backing the favourite? I think so, yeah. But who knows? If it's end-to-end goals galore, maybe Leeds could nick it. Next up again on the Saturday, but at 8 o'clock on Sky, we have got Newcastle taking on Burnley. So, Newcastle started the season well with a win against West Ham, played useless against Brighton and lost, and then somehow nicked a draw against Spurs at the weekend when the ref fancied just giving penalties for no apparent reason. I'm saying that it did hit Dyer on the arm, but he's facing the wrong way. It definitely wasn't intentional. However, saying that, as a Newcastle fan, I won't moan about it too much. Newcastle also play this week in the League Cup against Newport on Wednesday. It's another League 2 opposition, so hopefully we can get through to the next round. Burnley lost their first game in the Premier League season against Leicester, and then also lost against Southampton at the weekend. So not a great start for Burnley in the league. They also play Man City on Wednesday night in the League Cup, so it could well get worse for them depending on how that game goes. In terms of a prediction on this one, I think it's pretty 50-50. Burnley haven't won a game yet. They're probably looking at coming to Newcastle, a team who really are not on good form, as a chance to at least take a point. As a Newcastle fan, I'm hoping for at least a point. If I had to predict it after the West Ham game alone, I would have hoped for a win. But after seeing us in the Brighton and Spurs game, I think we could well do well to get a point. However, Newcastle are my team, and as much as I try not to be biased most of the time, I am going to back us to win 1-0. I cannot see many goals coming in this game, and I don't think Newcastle know how to score more than one goal, unless it's against League 2 Morecambe. So, 1-0 Newcastle. Let's hope for the best. Moving on to the Sunday now at 12 o'clock on BT Sport, we have got Leicester taking on West Ham. So Leicester have had a cracking start of the season, beating West Brom, Burnley and Man City. West Ham are up and down, lost against Newcastle, lost against Arsenal, and then beat Wolves at the weekend, which I think is a cracking result for West Ham. I backed Wolves to win, as a lot of you guys did in the predictions, but West Ham proved us all wrong. West Ham also play on Wednesday night against Everton in the League Cup, so bear that one in mind. As for this game, I've had to back Leicester. They've won 3 games in a row, including a win against Man City, and as much as West Ham did pull off a massive 4-0 win over Wolves, I would still say Leicester were probably the likely favourite. So I've gone 2-1 to Leicester. As I say, could well see West Ham scoring. They scored 4 against Wolves. I just think that Leicester are going to edge it. Next up again on the Sunday at 12 o'clock, and again on BT Sport. I don't know why they've got 2 12 o'clock games, both on BT Sport. I know they've got BT Sport 1 and BT Sport 2, but surely they would have one BT, one Sky. But anyway, we have got Southampton taking on West Brom. Southampton didn't have a great start, losing against Crystal Palace, losing against Spurs, but they did beat Burnley at the weekend. West Brom have had a worse start, losing against Leicester, losing against Everton, but, as I say, 3-3 draw against Chelsea at the weekend. And again, is it a good point, or is it 2 points lost? Because before the game even started, I think if you'd offered West Brom a draw against Chelsea, they would have taken it. But to be 3-0 up and then draw 3-3, I mean, that must feel like a loss to them. Nevertheless, they still scored 3 goals against Chelsea, so maybe that's still a bit of confidence for them going into this one. in terms of a prediction, I've already got my prediction down here. Danny Ings is scoring. Southampton are looking good. They did lose against Crystal Palace. They did lose against Spurs, but they were having a nightmare that day. I've backed Southampton to win 2-0. Looking at it now, however, as I say, no one's keeping clean sheets. I would probably expect West Brom to get at least one goal, but I've backed Southampton to take the win. Next up, again on the Sunday at 2 o'clock on Sky, we have got Arsenal taking on Sheffield United. So Arsenal, good start, beating Fulham, beating West Ham, but then, as I say, lost against Liverpool on Monday night, or just 5 minutes ago for me. They also play Liverpool again on Thursday night in the League Cup. So for you guys, that's tonight. So maybe see what happens in that game first. I mean, we already know that Liverpool beat them in the league. What will happen when they play each other in the League Cup? As for Sheffield United, they've had an absolute stinker to start the season, losing against Wolves, losing against Aston Villa, losing against Leeds. If I was predicting these 3 games before the season even started, I would have had it down as I would have had it down as a draw against Wolves and then probably beaten Aston Villa and Leeds. So whatever's happened with Sheffield United this season, it isn't working. And for that reason, I've backed Arsenal to win. I've gone 2-1. Again, it's a popular scoreline because no one's keeping clean sheets. Sheffield United may get a goal, but I think Arsenal will take the win. It's just Sheffield United's form. It hasn't been great. Again, this prediction last season, I could have even seen a draw or a go the other way, but at the moment, I think it has to be Arsenal. Next up, again on the Sunday, again at 2 o'clock, and again on Sky. Why have we got 2 games on Sky at the same time? Have one BT, have one Sky. Or have one BBC or one Amazon. Because people who don't have Sky silly. We've got Wolves taking on Fulham. So Wolves has started the season, beat Sheffield United, lost against Man City, which was fair enough. Then losing against West Ham 4-0. I mean, no disrespect to West Ham. I thought Wolves would step into their form. They've not had a great start against West Ham. As for Fulham, again, another team without a great start. Losing against Arsenal first game, losing against Leeds and losing against Aston Villa. You would say that Leeds and Aston Villa are probably 2 of the teams who may be in the relegation fight. I mean, Leeds look like they're pulling away from it, and Aston Villa have actually had a fantastic start. So maybe not now, but Paddy Power, I believe, have already paid out on bets so that Fulham will get relegated this season. So clearly they don't have any faith in them. And judging by my prediction, maybe I don't either, because I've backed Wolves to win 3-1. I've given Fulham a goal. Hopefully it's Mitro in my fantasy team. And hopefully the Wolves' 3 goals are Jimenez, because I put him in my team as well. But Wolves did have a rubbish game against West Ham, but they are still a good side, and I do still expect them to push on from here. So 3-1 Wolves. Next up on the Sunday at 4:30 on Sky, we have got Man U taking on Spurs. So Man U lost against Crystal Palace and then beat Brighton at the weekend with a last-minute penalty. Spurs lost to Everton, beat Southampton, drew against Newcastle because of a last-minute penalty. So it went for Man U at the weekend. It went against Spurs at the weekend. And as I say, both of these teams play in the League Cup this week, and Spurs play in the Europa League on Thursday night. So tonight for you guys, Spurs have got a very, very busy week and then play Man U on Sunday. So look out for injuries or tiredness or rotation and all that kind of thing. In terms of a prediction, who knows? Maybe it could be 2 VAR penalties, 1 each. Who knows? I've gone 1-1. I don't know. It's a tough one. I think we've seen good and bad from both of these teams so far. We haven't quite seen where the trends are going to be this season. It's all just a bit all over the place. And I've just sat on the fence and gone 1-1. So let me know what you think. And to finish things off on the Sunday at 7:15 on Sky, we have got Aston Villa taking on Liverpool. So I mentioned it, Aston Villa have had a cracking start, beating Sheffield United and Fulham in their first 2 games, 2-2. Liverpool have also had a cracking start, beating Leeds, Chelsea and Arsenal 3-3. 3 wins in 3, 2 wins in 2 for Aston Villa. Are both these teams going to remain undefeated after this game, or are we going to have Liverpool 4 wins from 4, or are we going to have Aston Villa 3 wins of 3? You've probably guessed which one I've backed. I have backed Liverpool to win, and I've gone 3-1. Again, it's another scenario where it would not surprise me to see Aston Villa scoring. Most teams are at the moment, and I do think that Liverpool have just got such good firepower up front. Whether it's Salah or Mane, one of them scoring the goals. We've seen Jota, or I've seen Jota get one just a few moments ago as well. So, yeah, that's what I've gone. Both these teams play in the League Cup this week on Thursday night. So that'll be tonight for you guys if you want to watch either of those games as well. And that is it, guys. So those are all of my predictions up there. Be sure to get your predictions down in the comments below before the first game kicks off this weekend at 12:30. At around 12:25, I'll come back and make a note of all of your predictions and be sure to shout out the winner in my next predictions video, which will be in 2 weeks' time after the international break. So be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button and turn the notifications on to be alerted when that next prediction video comes out in 2 weeks' time. But as always, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.